Good morning, everyone. It's Monday of a holiday weekend here in the United States, so many of you may be listening or watching me from, sleepy state. Maybe you took the day off yesterday. Here in Virginia, we've had more drizzly rain, freezing rain, snow, just little bits, but it's been very cozy inside. And of course, it's the day after Valentine's Day. We have my Valentine's Day roses there. And thank you, Carol. They're very beautiful. And I think that I'd like to start off today by talking about the deep winter and the ways in which the deep winter can drain us, on top of having the kinds of issues we're having currently with the pandemic numbers still, although they're coming down, staying relatively high. So I would love to just take a moment in our meditation today and concentrate on the deep recesses of the body, or the bones, because this is an area that is most important to pay attention to in the winter as you're slowing down. If you're not slowing down, honestly, you should be. Now, here's me saying that, me who has traveled all over the world at this time of the year usually. But now, here we are. Most of us, right at home, haven't traveled in quite a while, or if we have, we've cut down on the travel we are doing. We're sticking pretty close to home in terms of our families, in terms of the people that we're connected with, meals, activities, all of that. So for many, many people, being at home, if you know how to rest and you aren't anxious and afraid, then it can be, this winter could be a very, very rejuvenating winter. I will also say that one of the things we're now seeing with COVID-19 is that it's not random in who it hits and how it hits, that it appears to be a very opportunistic virus, meaning if we have not been taking care of ourselves, if we've been running on empty, if we've been really, if our immune system isn't in peak condition, then it can land with a vengeance. So I just want to point that out and to say there, as we know by now, there are lots of comorbidities, meaning there are lots of things that make our immune system be a little more vulnerable than it would otherwise. I have family members with type 2 diabetes. I have family members with obesity issues. I have family members with that struggle with autoimmune conditions that are raging out of control, not necessarily being taken care of. So all of these things leave the immune system more vulnerable to whatever comes in through your nasal passages. So once again, mask, what the CDC is saying now is double mask, and there's lots of information about that on the internet. But take care of yourselves and rest as we go into the deep winter. So let me talk a little bit about rejuvenating at this time of year. One of the things that I do that can be very, very helpful is to take a warm herbal wrap. I have a nice flat one. It's about this wide, this high, and it's flat, and I put it in the microwave, and then I lay it across my adrenals and kidneys, so right at my waistband, right at the bottom of my rib cage, and then I lie flat on it in bed. You can also use certain essential oils, and those of you that know what essential oils are good for the kidneys and adrenals at this time of year, put them in the chat box if you want to. There's a lot of good stuff written about that out there, and I'm not an herbalist or an essential oil person, so I don't really know that information. But I do know that when I put heat on my kidneys and adrenals before I fall asleep at night, it really, really helps me to just conk out and to get deep rest, deep rest. I have a fun little device that helps me know how my sleep is doing, and I'm noticing that as the winter is going on, as I'm paying more attention, I'm getting better and better sleep as we go. So please do that. That means many times, if you're that kind of person, going to bed relatively early, turning screens off, etc. So the other piece that can be very, very helpful is to remember that your kidneys and adrenals should be relaxed in order to function optimally. So I will oftentimes put something warm right back here at this time of year. I will lean back against it if I'm working at my computer or if I am on the phone with someone seated. Have a nice warm herbal wrap there. So keep that in mind as you're going through the winter. Get enough sleep, eat well. Bone broth is a really wonderful thing to be making soups out of bone broth and taking the time to rest back and be with what's there. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do a ground and fill today, and I would like to do that ground and fill into our bones, into the deep recesses of who we are, so that we can work with that refilling process. And we'll do it in the normal grounding and filling way that many of you may be familiar with, but we'll actually end up at the end resting back into our bones so that all of the chi, all the energy, all the nurturing sensation that we have consciously called in for ourselves rests in those deep reservoirs of who you are, in the bone marrow. Most people don't realize this, but our bones have air spaces, or we would all weigh 800 pounds. And so those air spaces, if you want to use that from a metaphoric perspective, can be filled like a sponge filling with clean, clear water. You can fill your bone marrow, all the air spaces in your bones, with what would nourish and nurture you most. It not only helps you drop deep inside, but it also helps you to refill and replenish your reserves. Okay, so with that in mind, let's get your feet on the floor, get your back with something supporting it. I've got a really nice support for my back here. Got my fireplace going here. And if you would, get comfortable. Soles of your feet on the floor. If you're lying down, you can just bend your knees so the soles of your feet are still on the floor. Yeah. Okay. And allowing your eyes to close. And beginning to breathe consciously. Just letting yourself notice what your normal breathing is like. And that's what I mean by breathing consciously. So we're not trying to control it. We're just trying to notice what's there. Bringing your curiosity on board. You can notice the temperature of the air. Yeah. That feeling of the rise and fall of your chest and your back and your ribs. With each inhale and exhale. Good. Good. And as you inhale and exhale, letting your awareness then drop into your spine, down into your belly, right on down into your sitting bones, whatever's supporting you, feeling your sitting bones in contact, the sensation of it. Yeah. Into the tops of your legs, your knees. What are you noticing down into your calves and your shins? Breathing all the way down into your feet as they rest on the floor. Yeah. What do your heels feel like right now? Do you feel your heels, the balls of your feet, your toes? What parts of your feet are you most aware of in sensation? And which foot are you more aware of? my right and left legs and feet feel different from each other today. Notice, is there any difference between your two sides making this contact with the earth? Yeah. And then allow your awareness to drop on down into the earth beneath you, as though you were putting down roots, light beams, rivers of awareness, whatever metaphor works best for you. And allowing this connection, this safe, unconditional resource that is beneath us all the time. Allow this connection to go as deeply and widely as you feel comfortable doing this morning. You're using your awareness, your attention, and your intention to make a safe connection with an external resource that is unconditional in its giving. It's just here with us, simply here with us, all the time. Yeah. And if there's any excess tension that you have in your body right now from something that happened this weekend or whatever, just gently take a deep breath and let it exhale, completely leaving your body. Yeah. We want to make room for what would nourish and nurture you most. I just noticed that I was carrying a little excess tension in my face, and as I exhaled, I could feel my jaw drop a little bit, my eyes soften. So just wherever you find tension, wherever you notice it, just taking an easy breath. You can let it go. Let it go. Anything you no longer need. Yeah. And then asking your feet, what would feel most nourishing and nurturing? What would feel most nourishing and nurturing, feet? And then as you ask your feet that question, notice what sensations start to show up there. Is it warm or cool? Do you have a sense of a wave or a hum? Yeah. Good. Does it feel like a particular color? Oh. And as your feet fill, just naturally, you've opened to receiving what would nourish and nurture you most here in your feet. And as they fill, notice how things change visually, kinesthetically, auditorily, in that inner knowing sort of way. Yeah. And allowing this river, this flow of nourishing sensation coming in from the earth to soak into the bones of your feet. Bones of your feet. Filling all the bone marrow, all the air spaces. Saturating your bones gently at a pace that works for you. And then allowing it, as it fills your bones, to spread out into your skin, muscles, ligaments, tendons, everything, toenails of your heels, balls of your feet, top of your feet. Good. Yeah. We're setting the template here in your feet. And that's why we're taking a little longer here. You're setting in it, you're intending, you're setting a goal, putting your attention on it, and saying, I would love, to the best of my ability, to fill every cell in my body this morning, and particularly the areas of my bones, the deep reserves in my body, so that when I get done, my bones feel full, saturated, juicy. They're really feeling like healthy bone. Yeah. And you may already be noticing that your ankles and your shins and tibia, fibula are beginning to ask for what they need. And the bones there in your area of your lower legs is soaking up what it needs. And your muscles, ligaments, tendons, all the way out to the skin. This is not just for our bones, it's for everything. Point being that we often forget to drop deep into our bones and to let them fill as well. And as your bones of your lower legs fill, allowing all the nooks and crannies of your knees, your patellas, the femur, each leg, as it connects. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Allowing your femurs here in your upper legs to fill. Longest, strongest bones in the body, your femurs. Yeah, there you go. I'm noticing that there's a little bit of achiness in the left patellar area. And I'm just making a note. But right now, I can just rest a hand there and just say to it, what do you need? And from this river that's flowing through, allow it to fill up as best it can right now. There, thank you. Yeah, and then gently moving on. And as the bones of my thighs fill, my femurs, and then letting as those air spaces in the matrix of the bone fill with nurturing sensation, with chi, with energy, however you want to name it. We are setting a filter to receive only what would nourish and nurture us. And it's our cells that know what that sensation is. What that sensation is. Yeah, allowing the outside of your thighs, the inside of your thighs, top, the back, everything to fill and be nourished. But particularly remembering to drop into your bones. To really let your bones soak up what they need. Good. Good. Yeah, and then rounding the curve, allow the bones of your pelvis, two big sturdy bones, your ilia, your sacrum, that big V-shaped bone at the bottom. And you have those ischial tuberosities, your sits bones that are making contact with whatever you're sitting on right now. It's the bottom end of your iliums, the ilia. Big, sturdy bones, letting them fill. Yeah. Offering you a strong, safe pelvic bowl. Yeah. Yeah, to hold whatever is in your digestive tract, your reproductive system. Yeah. Good. Good. You may want to put a hand on your belly and allowing your spine to fill. Each vertebrae with whatever would nourish it most as you go vertebrae to vertebrae to vertebrae. And the spinal cord within the vertebral canal and the dural sheathing around it. Yeah. Letting it all be just drenched in this river of nourishing sensation. And you may find, let's say that as you're noticing now, you're paying attention, and you're noticing that your spine is asking you, I'm just going to make this up, for a warm, rosy color for most of the vertebrae. And then you get to a vertebrae that's a little bit out of sorts this morning. And it may actually be asking you, when you get to it, it may be asking you for a cool blue-green or silver or some other quality or color in order to be okay and to be less irritable and fussy. Yeah. There we go. And you can slow down and take your time, doing this at a pace that works for you. There we go. And as your whole belly is filling, your midsection, all of the organs that reside here. Yeah. And as the spine continues to fill, right up behind your heart, right on up into the area of the base of your neck. Feel your rib cage, your rib cage. Yeah. And fill your rib cage. Ask it, what would nourish you most, rib cage? And allow that quality, whatever it is, warmth, coolness, the sensation of a particular color, texture, hum, a wave, whatever would nourish you most, letting it just easily soak into your ribs, your spine, and even deeper into your heart and lungs. Yeah. And I'm noticing as I'm filling today that I'm paying careful, special attention to fill my bones, to stay very conscious of what my bones are feeling like this morning. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. On up into your chest, your breasts. Yeah, into the area of your shoulders. Yeah. I often carry tension in my shoulders, so when I get to my shoulders, I'm always talking to my clavicles, my scapulae, the area where the bones of my shoulders meet my arm, upper arm forearm, hands and finger bones, letting it just soak up whatever they need. Yeah, you're getting the idea now. Yeah. You can wiggle your fingers. It's the morning. You can stretch up if you want to. Yawn if you want. Yeah. And then allowing this river that's coming in through the bottoms of your feet, carefully filtered when it enters your body so that it's only what will nourish and nurture you most. Filling your cells at a pace that you can handle. The feet, the legs, the torso, hands and arms. And then letting this flow move right on into the area of your throat, and then back of your neck, your cervical spine. Yeah. And as your throat fills, your neck, feeling your occiput in the back, your jaw here in the front. Your teeth, your gums. Remember, they can just ask, what would nourish and nurture us most right now? In your teeth. Many of us have walked around this winter with clenched teeth because of what we've been walking through in terms of tension and stress. Yeah, let your jaw be nourished in this moment. Yeah. Good. Allowing for space. Yeah. Good. Good. And as your jaw soaks up what it needs, your teeth, allowing your nose, your eyes, your ears, all the way back into your cranium. Yeah. All the way up to the very crown of your head, filling and being nourished. Yeah, and as your container fills and is nourished, particularly nourishing your bones today, deep into the inner sanctum of who you are. Good. And as you fill completely, letting this flow move right up and out the crown of your head. You can take a hold of your hair or rub the crown of your head. Yeah. So that we're connected to the earth beneath us, heavens above us. And there's a river of nourishing sensation moving through you, bathing your cells, and particularly today, the cells of your bones, what makes up this sturdy, steady structure. For most of the body, not the cranium, our bones are on the outside in our cranium, but everywhere else, on our sternum, everywhere else, they tend to be deep, deep, deep within. So I like to think of the bones as being your innermost sanctum. And as you rest back, feeling your spine, your sitting bones, bones of your legs and feet, and then thank yourself for slowing down like this, taking the time, to soak up nourishing, nurturing chi. Your reserves are refilling. If it feels good to you and you can do it easily, you can reach around now that everything's full and just cradle your adrenals, your kidneys. Just right at the bottom of your rib cage. The palms of your hands are melding with your kidneys, and the adrenals are those little caps on top of your kidneys, like ski caps, that are responsible for adrenaline and fight or flight. When they get full and plumped out, then they only really respond appropriately, not at the drop of a pin. Yeah. So making sure that your kidneys and adrenals are as full as they can be. Good, good. Kidneys and adrenals are also in the water channel in Chinese medicine, which also has to do with the bones. So it's a nice entry point for refilling your reserves. And when you're ready, you can allow your eyes to gently open, although they may not want to. You may have sunk in so deep that you are feeling very rested. Yeah. Good. Good. And this is my gift to you for the week, so that your oasis, who you are, the oasis of who you are, is full. It has a way to rejuvenate. And each Monday we've offered you slightly different ways to rejuvenate. So if you want to go back and watch them, we're also posting them on YouTube now. We're working on LinkedIn, so we're going to have some fun with these. But we want to spread the gift around. We want everyone who wants to have a part of it to be able to get to it. So, any questions or thoughts before we sign off for the morning? Yeah. Kisses back. I'm with you. Yeah. Good, good, good. Well, thank you all for joining me, for giving me the capacity to offer this to you because you're showing up. Many of you are going to be watching it later. It's recorded. It's on the Facebook page. The Healing from the Core Facebook group, excuse me, not the Facebook page, but our Facebook group, which you have to answer 3 easy questions to be a part of. Okay. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you for showing up.